You are on the quick trip lot. You are unlawfully assembled. And you will be subject to arrest.
America is falling headfirst into never-ending chaos, pain, fear, and hunger. If you think you are safe from the threat, if you think your family is protected, think again. Dead or alive, it's only a matter of time. Save yourself before it's too late. Think fast. An angry, hungry mob of urban warfare gangsters are pounding on your door. There are 8 basic responses to the situation. 7 out of 8 of them get you and your family killed. Only 1 ensures you and your family live happily ever after. Do you know what that response is? If you can't answer that question, you have a responsibility to yourself to listen carefully to every word of this presentation and take notes. Shut down every other application on your computer but this one, to avoid a moment's distraction, because the free information I share in the next few minutes is literally life and death information, with no exaggeration. I'm Jason Richards, now recognized as one of the world's foremost and well-respected survivalists. You're watching a video that I wish I never had to make. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm an optimist by nature. I really wish I could come on here and tell you everything's fine in this country. I wish I could tell you to go back to sleep and enjoy another episode of Family Guy. But recent discoveries have told me, and they soon will tell you too, that this kind of naivety isn't just misguided, it's dangerous. Think of it like this. When you are sleeping on a track and there's a train barreling down on you at 80 miles per hour, I feel I must do everything in my power to wake you up, which is exactly what I'm going to do today. And even if you think you have already woken up, prepare to learn that this rabbit hole goes a lot further than you think it does. Now, the information I'm about to share is extremely time sensitive. It's information that unfortunately you cannot find anywhere else, even on our beloved Patriot sites. There are many, many people who desperately need this information and are trying to watch this video right now. But bandwidth is limited, which means we still need to clear the site of people who don't belong. So let me speak directly to those people now. If you are a naysayer, a doubter, government shills, agents, an Obama head, I'm going to ask you to leave now. If you think that this country is on firm footing and can't be convinced otherwise, I'm going to ask you to step off the page to allow others who need this life-changing info to get it. If you think that the notion of currency collapse or economic disaster is no more than a conspiracy theory, and if you think you're already prepared for any major disaster that may come, then leave now and enjoy your summer at Camp FEMA. If you fall into any of these categories, I'm going to recommend you enjoy your quasi-hypnotized, mind-controlled, fluoridated, pharmaceutically induced state of artificial bliss. Good luck out there. You'll need it. And for those of you who think you are prepared for the coming crisis, unfortunately, through no fault of your own, you may be in the worst position of all, because the worst person to be around in a crisis is the one who thinks he's prepared but actually isn't. This may be harsh to hear. The truth is not for the squeamish. It never has been. But if you've got a brain in your head and a heart in your chest, you know something's wrong in this country. That it has been this way for a while, and that the other shoe is about to drop. And not in years from now either, but in a matter of months, if not weeks. So I can spend all day hoping or praying for things to be different, but none of that will save anyone. From the fact that every day, with inches closer and closer to the day, the U.S. government will become mathematically unable to repay its debts. Economists have warned us about this for years, and it's finally here. The point of no return for our financial system. A point at which there will be no choice but for nation-states like China to abandon the dollar under the pressure of investors. The U.S. can do nothing to prevent this. And it's not a matter of if it will happen, it's a matter of when. And when it does, you will see things start happening fast. Things 99% of the population won't understand. Quite simply, when U.S. Treasury bonds are abandoned by foreign investors, oil prices go up 3,000% in a single day as the dollar collapses. Yes, 3,000% in a single day. This is the same day that every current producer of staple foods for this country no longer turns a profit. Their trucks stop. Whatever food is left in the grocery stores is ransacked by a panicked mob. The rest is rationed by the U.S. government. Yes, you will walk into your grocery store only to find empty shelves. No Rice Krispies, no milk, in fact, no bread, no rice, no drinkable water. Empty shelves. Now remember, the food stamps are already on the brink of collapse. This is a program that currently feeds 46 million of the poorest Americans, who will instantly be unleashed on the streets, many of them armed, looking for food anywhere they can find it. And that means your fridge. The moment the government has no treasury investment, that program is declared bankrupt. Really just an admission of the current status, by the way. And if you're on Social Security, the president will regretfully inform you via television that those checks will no longer arrive until further notice.
This is why it's a good idea not to give up your guns for self-protection.
It's a simple equation, one that has been repeated throughout history. The shortages will lead to riots, and the riots will lead to martial law. You think I'm making this stuff up?
No.
Think again. Here's one of the world's most accurate economic analysts, one of the only economists who predicted the 2008 financial bubble burst with precision. Now says the coming depression will make that event look like a Sunday school picnic. And who would know better about the coming collapse? CNBC News recently covers his prediction that there will be an impending sovereign debt crisis, and your government knows about this better than anyone, which is exactly why they've recently rammed through the barbaric National Defense Resources Preparedness Executive Order in the dead of night, which gives the government total martial law powers over the population in a time of crisis or peace. In short, the law allows a president to order you or your family, throw them into vans with a bag over their head, without a shred of evidence, to seize your water supplies, your property, everything in case of crisis, without a hearing, without a trial, without asking permission. The Posse Comitatus Act, the act protecting your constitutional rights to be free from military on your streets, is long gone. Don't worry, folks, it's all for your own protection. And in case you haven't noticed, last year martial law drills took place in more than 10 states, armed military pulling people out of their homes and into trains in the wake of a natural disaster to prepare the population. A drill they've been practicing for the past 2 years en masse. So, should it surprise any of us? On a business trip, Dale Bohannon discovered this: a soybean field turned into a mass grave, set up in secret by your government, with 135,000 plastic graves, just enough to take care of the local population there, with similar grave sites spotted all over the country. Still more yet to be discovered. Face it, the government knows exactly what's coming. The government is prepared, but they aren't prepared for your survival. The government is preparing for your orderly death. I tried to ignore it for a long time, but when friends in the military started telling me about the mass graves, totally real by the way, when I saw police officers openly stating that they are preparing for urban warfare, when I saw martial law drills taking place in every major city in the country, as the dollar collapses, I knew that it was time for my knowledge to begin to reach those who needed it most. I'm not one to brag like most salesman posers out there. I'm a survivalist, in the true sense of the word. I've gone months in the wilderness with no more than a knife and a water bottle, and I not only survived, but thrived. Been taught to do so since I was 6 years old by my military-trained parents. I'm trained in martial arts and the use of a wide array of firearms, and I've learned from the best in the industry. The survivalists who taught the survivalists who teach you, people like John Lahan. He's a loyal ex-military who fought in Afghanistan for 5 years before he came back home and started his own elitist survival training school. But more importantly, I've learned from history. I've cataloged exactly what has happened when other countries have collapsed. I figured out exactly how each individual was affected, who survived, who did not, and why. And I came to realize that nobody, and I mean nobody, was adequately preparing the American public for what is to come. Not even the Patriots.
I'm going to end it here. I'll leave the link in the box below. I just came across this accidentally. Emergency message to all Patriots. Alright, thank you. This is really good information, by the way. So, please click on the link so you can listen to him in entirety. Alright, thank you. Patty out here. Have a good day.